Hello people, welcome back to Dutch Modeling. Today with something else. I'm gonna try my hand at some sort of a how I do it slash how you do it, how to tutorial thingy. I'm not going to especially know how this will pan out, but I'm gonna give it a try because I just released some pictures of my Scamel, which is almost done, the tank transporter, and I got a lot of questions on how I do the mud and how I do the rust. This video I'm gonna try and tell you how I am doing the mud. Also gonna show you a couple of mostly convenient products that you can do it yourself. But and basically in the end this will be me showing you how I do mainly two different types of mud. And the one will be the one I did on the Scamel, the other one will be the one I did on the Jagd Panzer, the Jagd Panzer 4 that was on the back of the Scamel. I have this old BTR that I really fucked up the paint job from. It must have been white, but it's all bubbly and I tried all kinds of different stuff, as you can see on here already. I think I used this for my Vallejo showing of the products, so I'm going to use this now to demonstrate how I do mud. The way I do it, you need a couple of things. You'll need pigments. I'm using these, the wilder ones, because I have them. That's basically the only reason. You could also use the make pigments or making your own. Don't think there's anything wrong with making your own or getting or having others or whatsoever pigments. Where you get them, up to you. And something to bind them to the plastic with. I'm using at the moment, again, because I have it, and this is really wrong. Again, the wilder one. You could also use this one. Or this. This probably doesn't say anything to you because it's in Dutch, but this is mineral spirits. And I also have, this one. You could use this. Acrylic resin for fixture. Haven't used this myself. I don't know if it works, but this is a little bit thick, and I don't like that. So again, use whatever you want to fix your pigments. It's all up to you. And then it's basically, so as high as I do it at least, and I'm gonna try to zoom in. I have one brush for the thinner. Take the top off. This is for me, this is a flat brush, a soft brush. It's how I like to do it. Again, for you it can be different. And I got a stiff brush with very short bristles for the pigments. And then it's basically all I've done is take a little bit of pigments, I'm going to try to zoom in a bit if I can. Get away. There we go. Like I said, this will be new for me too, so I have to see how this works out. Hopefully the camera stays there, doesn't move too much, okay. And all I do is basically get some pigments up on the brush. Just do this wheel arc. Until you really think he's centered. Yeah, this is enough. A little bit over here. Well, here comes the wheel, so it won't be there, but over there. And all you do, dip it in the thinner and let it flow. And I think it's called a capillary reaction. You can see everything is darkening. You know it's wet. that's the first layer. What I do then, all that I do then, just add some more. You can also just do it like dab it on like this. I'm not afraid to get my brushes dirty. I'm going to clean them afterwards as well. You see the chunks are getting a little bit bigger now. It's a good thing. And it is because immediately after I used the thinner, I used the pigments again, so the brush gets a little bit wet and it sticks a little bit to each other. And then you get a little bit of bigger blobs of pigments stuck together. And this you continue until you're happy with the product end. I'm going to try not to give my arm into the screen all the time. Just a little bit bigger lumps. One thing, you can see I got the white paper underneath. You really need to protect your bench. Otherwise it will be one big cleaning exercise afterwards. And just dab it on and let it dry. And then have some water over here. It's my arm again. I think it's water. Yep, it's water. To clean your stippling brush. And let that dry. And then you get this. If it wants to. This is just one color. What you can do, because this is the lightest that I have. This is dry clay, Russian clay. You can also do is, I'm going to take a tint darker now. You can see that's a little bit darker. You can't see, I have to drag it back here a bit. That's just a little bit darker. And again, do the same, but then just keep it onto the more the center. It's too wet yet. Try the brush a little bit. Again, just dab it on like this if you want. And again, add a little bit of thinner. Oh. And so you can continue that with consistently darker pigments and make this the center where you put them smaller and smaller. So it seems to be like it's wet around the middle, and the further you go out it gets lighter and lighter. That means it's going to be drier and drier in the end effect. We're going to let this dry for a minute. so you can see the end effect. And you can see here how dirty it gets, and I haven't even really done a lot yet. So then you got the easy way, the Russian mud, European mud, out of a bottle. I've shown these in the Vallejo product review or something like that, but I'm still gonna, again, short stiff bristle brush. I'll take a little brown European mud. And this is basically Everton, Seafoam Green. Just staple it on, put it where you want. A bit more. With this stuff, be very careful that you don't drag your brush around, because then you really get the brush streaks, and it really looks strange. Well, again, to this, personally, I would add some pigments. I'm gonna quickly clean my brush. Show you got here just a middle container with a little bit of water. Some kitchen paper, towel, stuff. Keep it dry again. Like I said, to this you can add some pigments to change the color. Up to you. And then there is the way I did it on the yak pencil, which I started with this. Again, mud and grass, very much a convenience product. I'm gonna do this in this one. This is just the same mud as in the other ones, but then with some static grass mixed into it. So again, you basically make a paste from maybe even white glue, a little bit of water, so it's, or not even with water. Mix some static grass into there, and you got basically the same product. So this is the product itself. And what I've done last time, again, just gonna clean my brush a little bit. I need cleaner water. It's not really necessary now. Yeah, it's clean enough. What I've done last time, and I'm just gonna use the same color I used then. Pick up the pigments. And mix them in there. It doesn't really work this time as it did last time, to be honest. Doesn't really want to do this time. And again, fix it with some thinner pigment fixture, whatever you want to do. Because for some reason, I think I'm too hasty this time. really good lighting either. You can't really see, sorry. Zoomed in, so it's just a little bit different. So just play with it a little bit, so yeah. And sometimes you're just lucky and something really good works. And I think I was a little bit too quick. I didn't give the grass and stuff time to dry. It was more a spur of the moment video as well, so. And like I said, you got the Martian rust, just across the grass. I'm gonna see what works because this is the mud straight after the box out of the bottle, and you can see it's nice. This is the first batch I did. You got the out of the box, and this is still drying, but you can see the grass and the mud and everything in there. So I need to adhere this to the rest with a little bit of thinner. There's some planes coming over, probably can hear that. So they're all Dutch Air Forces F-16s. A fighter base not far from here. And then you still got the other muds. I'm gonna pick those up, get them in a second, they're not that far away. You also got these. I actually haven't really worked with these so far, but this is going to be a kind of a tutorial for me as well. You got the stony and the fine. These are two different colors, as you can see. I'm going to use those in the last one there. If I can open those. Need to stir these a little bit up. You can hear it, really rough. Actually dried in the lid. It's not a good thing. They're not really dry, but they're getting old. So stir it up. Let's see. And the fine. These actually separated. Need to give it a good stir as well. It shows you how often I've used these. The reason I haven't is because I'm kind of afraid to, because these are not acrylic based like the rest. So this is again just a question of putting it on wherever you want. Put it on royally. And this is the fine. It's basically your slight dusty, little muddy base. You can see how it spreads the bristles of the brush, so there is some texture in here. And these are, oh well, this is Russian, so there's a lot in Russian there, so I can't really read this. I'm gonna use, I need a new bottle. This one is empty. Doesn't work. Oh, just water? I thought these were more thinner based. Apparently they're not. My mistake. It doesn't clean in white spirits at all. Learned something while doing a tutorial. That's a new one. And we're up to 22 minutes already. Damn. Why don't you keep it short? So, and then you got the stony, which is really more like a paste, as you can see, which has actually rough texturing to it. This one you would use, and I'm too early because it's never even close to being dry. It doesn't want to stick now probably. Where the rougher parts, the thicker mud will be. Place it over there. Like this. And like I said, I'm doing this. Oh, that should have be turned off, but it wasn't. Sorry. More like this, something like this. But this is a way. This isn't my way. I like to do it like this, and like that. And I'm gonna give you a close-up of those again, so you can be your own judge. You have to think it's of course a 1/35 scale, so the mud particles won't be that big. Closing these up especially. And if you close your pigments, if this goes over, yeah, you will be cleaning the rest of the year because it goes everywhere, absolutely everywhere. So the pigments are pretty dry now already. This is the end result. It's a little coarse, maybe? No, not coarse. Well, this is the end result so far. There's a little bit tweaking in there, of course. This is straight out of the pot. This is the grass with the pigments. You see now that it begins to dry, the grass comes out and you can see the pigments in there and then well. And this is the wilder one, which I really do not know how to work with. So for me it would be either this, it's only sand and mud, or this. Those are the two I do. That's how I do my dirt and mud and stuff underneath on the tracks, the road wheels and everything. So very easy, very cheap, because you almost don't need anything of the pigments. And I know the MIG pigments, small bottles, if you still can get them, these is 20 mils. They're not that cheap. I know I don't know the exact prices, but this is 50 mils, and they were almost exactly the same price as the MIG ones. So, and I've seen some other brands of pigments on the market that were even cheaper, and you got Citadels, and I know what everything. I think Vallejo makes his own pigments as well. So choose the pigments that you like and use them. I'm not telling you to use a certain product. I'm just going to show you how I do it. I like using the Vallejo stuff, especially the crushed grass and mud, because I can play with it. Like I said, it's either this, you can see, and it's just pigments and thinner, or this. And I just showed you this because it's a product that's out there and I really don't know how to work with it. And that's the base. It's the mud out of a pot, and it's workable, but you need to add something to make this. So, again, pigments and a fixer. That's what you need. So, I hope you learned, or I kind of conveyed what I meant. That's probably the better question. So, hope you enjoyed it. See you soon. Bye bye.